Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for coming back for another video. Today I have a meal prep video for you all. I'm making chicken Alfredo pasta, which is one of Ruby's favorites. She always asks for this dish. Fish cakes, which is one of my mom's recipes and one of my favorites since I was a little kid. Brisket that my whole family loves and it's so easy to make. I've been wanting roasted vegetables. I haven't had them in a while and I miss it. I'm also likely to eat more of it this way. It's my first time making quiche. I've always loved it and it's such a quick breakfast that I can heat up and eat at my desk, and it turned out so good. I'm also baking. My granola bars don't require baking, and I've shared this recipe before, but the kids really wanted this. My banana bread that I've been making for years, I also have shared this before. This time I'm making cinnamon apple muffins. They smelled like fall and tasted so good. All of the kids loved it. If you enjoy meal prep videos and want to see more like this from me, like this video and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any of my future uploads. And now with all that said, let's get started. I'm making the brisket first because it takes the longest. This is actually the day before because I knew I would need the oven during that time, and having the brisket cooking for 3 hours would have held me up on my other cooking. All I'm doing is blotting the meat with some paper towel, then sprinkling some salt and pepper. The main ingredient is mustard. I'll show you the one that I use, but you can also use yellow mustard.
Driving narrow streets in a rusty car, leading to the sea, think we're getting close. We should take a pic, baby, strike a pose. I remember every day that I spent right here with you. Yeah, you are the one who makes me feel as good as I do. Baby, I wanna still act like we are 22, right?
I make sure to slather it all over the meat, and then I put it in one of these oven turkey bags to cook in. My oven is set to 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 hours. Make sure to poke 2 or 3 holes in the bag. Also be sure the bag isn't touching any part of the oven because it'll stick. Three hours later, I'm transferring the brisket to a cutting board to cool, and so I can cut it into really thin slices. I'll add a little bit of the drippings in the bag on top to make it extra juicy. At this time, I can add a little more salt and oregano. Sultan doesn't like oregano, so I do that after plating it for Ruby and I. Really easy, 3 ingredients, 3 hours, minimal cleanup. Let me know if you guys try this. Now we're going to prep for the chicken Alfredo pasta. First, I have to properly wash my chicken, and to do that, I'm using lemon and salt, kind of like a marinade, because I'm going to cover it up and set it in the fridge while the pasta cooks and dries. The small pot in the back is for hard-boiled eggs. Every time I meal prep, I have to make some for easy snacks. I'm not wasting any time while the water is coming to a boil. I'm going to start washing and chopping vegetables for roasting. I have broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, red and yellow pepper, and red onion. Amir is also sitting closely so he can try everything. You'll see later I give him a little knife, a kid-safe knife, to chop some.
I've been fighting everything you say. I've been trying to go the other way, but I can't seem to get you out of my head. Out of my head. I've been fighting everything you'll be, 'cause everything you'll be is changing me, and I can't seem to.
My salad spinner is the Xoxo brand from Amazon. I think I mentioned it before, but I'll link it below for you guys.
For you, I got time. For you, so be mine. Would you give me time to give it all to you? Give it all to you. Let me give it all to you. Give it all to you, yeah. Let me give it all to you. Let me give it all to you. I've been fighting everything you'll be, 'cause everything you'll be is changing me, and I can't seem to get you out of my head.
I'm washing the pasta with cold water to stop it from cooking and setting it aside to dry, because if it goes in the pan wet, it'll make the sauce really thin and kind of bland and watery.
So be mine. Would you give me time to give it all to you? Give it all to you. Let me give it all to you. Wanna give it all to you. Let me give it all to you.
For the veggies, I'm using garlic powder, salt, agave, but only for the broccoli, black pepper, and olive oil.
Give it all to you. Give it all to you, yeah. Let me give it all to you. Let me give it all to you, yeah. Let me give it all to you. Let me give it all to you. Wanna give it all
These are going into the oven on 350 degrees Fahrenheit until lightly crispy and roasted. I'd say for about 30 minutes. Now I'm chopping one medium white onion to saute before adding in the chicken. There was a really bad storm while I was filming this and the electricity went out. I had to go over and turn the switches back on again. So now that the onions are going, I'm going to wash the chicken off with some water and cut it into pretty small pieces. To season, I'm using chili powder, paprika, garlic powder, and Italian seasonings. I'm literally eyeballing and smelling it. I'm not sure how much I used, but I would say half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of each at least. Now I'm washing the dishes and surfaces that the chicken touch. I also might need to use those again later. The chicken has cooked enough, so I'm adding in the entire jar of sauce, then a tiny bit of chicken broth to get whatever was left in the jar. I also did add a little bit of mozzarella cheese and then covered it up to thicken so I can prep for the next dish, which is my mom's fish cakes. I'm using codfish, which is really salty, so I'm boiling it twice to get some of that salt out. Then I'm going to let it cool before I start making the batter. The pasta is done. I put it on the back burner until I give Ruby a plate. Now I'm eating some of the vegetables. I could not resist once they cooled down. While I boil the fish one more time, I'm going to make the quiche. This was really easy. I'm going to use 6 eggs, a pan, a round one, and a refrigerated pie crust. For the ingredients, I decided to do mushrooms, green onion, white onion, turkey, and mild cheddar cheese. I'm going to saute the mushrooms just a little before putting them into the mixture with some butter. That's going into the oven on 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes when it's nicely browned and firm in the middle. The last dish I'm going to make before we start baking is the fish cakes. Now that the cod is fully cooled, I'm chopping red pepper, white onion, green onion, parsley, and celery. I also had a few seasonings out, but after I called my mom to make sure I was doing it right, I realized I needed way more. This recipe takes practice. It's not easy to get on the first try. I'll try to put measurements the best I can in the description, but not even my mom knows the measurements. It's her recipe, but she just goes with it. She's literally guiding me through the whole process by eyeballing over a video call. I was so happy when they actually did turn out well. We ate them all the same day.
shooting me with words, but I won't let them bruise. Even though it hurts, I won't show it to you. 'Cause it will ricochet, I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. Let me tell you, no, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. And even if you're trying to hurt me, my skin's getting thicker each day. I don't know how you fall asleep at night, knowing that your words are hurtful, it's just not right. No, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. Like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet. I used to let it in, all the things you said. You try to turn me into somebody else, but it will ricochet, I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. Let me tell you, no, because my eyes are open.
I'm cleaning up again, I think for the second time since I've been cooking, and then it's time to start baking.
Trying to hurt me, my skin's getting thicker each day. Don't know how you fall asleep at night, knowing that your words are hurtful, it's just not right. No, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. Like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet.
I'm lining a small pan with parchment paper for the oats I'm roasting for the granola. I don't have almonds today, so I'm using cashews instead. I'm roughly chopping the cashews and adding it to the oats. They're going into the oven on 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 7 minutes. After I pour everything back into the pan, I wet my fingers so I can press it in without it sticking. My pan is a little bit too big for this, so I'm shaping it to one side, and then it goes into the fridge for 30 minutes until firm enough to cut into bars. My banana bread is really easy to make. I've shared it before, so I'll leave the ingredients and measurements in the description, as well as for the granola bars.
Shouldn't have known if I was the one who's drowning in your flood. It's overwhelming me, but I guess it's clear to me now. After staring holes in all my walls, don't you cut me off like you did that time. Once was already enough, I'd say, but I wonder if you hear me. Can you hear me? Can you touch the fire with your hands? 'Cause you're gonna get burned. You're gonna get burned. You're walking into quicksand. Not a lesson learned. 'Cause you're gonna get burned. There you go, without thinking about tomorrow. Gonna let you know you're spending all the time you borrowed to get through this. Not giving you a second chance. So turn around and fill in the blanks. There's a star, but you've forgotten how to follow. Gonna leave a scar if you don't take the time to heal everything underneath this. You're watching the hours are ticking away. So turn around and fill in the blanks. I gotta say that you could do so much better.
I never used to do this before. I would just spray the pan, but it started to stick, so I'm putting in some flour in it. It always comes out clean this way.
I hit you up, but there's no one there. If I wanted something distant, I would have found just what I want in you. But I'm not really like that. Don't you know that? Said, don't you know that? Touch the fire with your hands. 'Cause you're gonna get burned. You're gonna get burned. You're walking into quicksand. Not a lesson learned. 'Cause you're gonna get burned.
Now I'm making the cinnamon apple muffins. There's also a little crumble topping for it. I found this recipe on Pinterest, by the way. I wasn't sure if the kids were going to like it, but they did, and the house smelled so good.
Second chance. So turn around and fill in the blanks. There's a star, but you've forgotten how to follow. Gonna leave a scar if you don't take the time to heal everything underneath this. You're watching the hours are ticking away. So turn around and fill in the blanks. You're gonna get burned. You're gonna get burned. Fill in the blanks. Where are you? What's up? What's going on? Simple truth, I'm low. Let's get it on. Touching the stars, touching the stars. what's going on. Simple truth, I'm low, let's get it on. Touching the stars, touching the stars. Dancing, 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 feel like dancing till the daylight. Dancing, 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 feel like dancing in the spotlight. Depending on you. Depending. Depending. Depending on you. Into the city where the lights are to turn it up and turn it on.
I decided to make some tuna really quick just to have in the fridge for another easy snack on school days. I really needed to start meal prepping again, you guys, because stopping while working to make something for the kids at all different times because they don't all have lunch and snacks at the same time, that wasn't working. I'm going back to meal prepping at least twice a week. That is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you try any of these recipes, be sure to tag me on Instagram. Give this video a like if you want to see more like this. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all in my next video.